And this is part 3, and I should be able to get through it all here, but I'm just going to go through the fires. 1807, the Second Battle of Copenhagen led to the burning of over 1,000 buildings in the city, including the Church of Our Lady. And this is worldwide. They did this all across the world. 1810s, 1811, Great Fire of Podil in Kiev, Russian Empire. Over 2,000 buildings, 12 churches, and 3 abbeys destroyed. About 30 deaths. Next year, 1812, the Fire of Moscow of 1812, which was started to deny shelter to Napoleon. 1812 to 1814, the War of 1812 involved several major urban fires. Buffalo, New York, York, Upper Canada, burning of Washington, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Buffalo is a huge, huge ancient city. There's so much ancient technology, ancient architecture in Buffalo. And here it is. They have to destroy it. And they need a story to go along with it. The Great Fire of Tercero and blah, 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 destroyed. I don't even know what that is. Ponce, Puerto Rico, a Spanish settlement, 1820, was almost completely destroyed. 1820, Great Savannah Fire, burned almost 500 structures. 1821, fire destroyed over 400 houses. 1821, Great Fire of Fayetteville destroyed 500 buildings in the city. 1825, the 1825 Miramichi Fire destroyed the city of Miramichi, New Brunswick. Destroyed the city. The city! 1827, Great Fire of Turku, Finland. 1829, fire destroyed hundreds of buildings in Augusta, Georgia. There's a lot of stuff that went on in Georgia. The Georgia Guidestones are down there. There's tons of ancient architecture in Georgia, Florida, all down there. All throughout the whole United States. United States, America, this could be the motherland, for all we know. And they teach us that we migrated over here and found America, but discovered it. But really, we might have started here and then went to Europe, or, who knows. But this was all one landmass. I've seen some things that there was the Roman Empire and the Tartarian Empire. I've seen some things that it was all the Tartarian Empire. I've seen some things it was all Atlantis. Maybe they've changed the names. Maybe the name that it really is not a name that we've even heard before. But what we do know is that there is architectural technology, a building that we don't have today. And it's across the whole world. I mean, there's structures that go underground. There's structures that are made out of a mountain. How? There's huge castles on top of a mountain. How? How do you build a castle on top of a mountain with a horse and carriage? How do you get everything up there? They don't teach us to ask these questions. They don't want us asking questions. They want us to just think that we know the answers, so that way we don't have to question anything. When they came out with the internet and came out with Ask Jeeves and said, now you can go online and you can search for anything you want, but they're controlling the information. So now all the information you're getting is information that they're putting out to you. They're not giving you the real information. They're not giving you all of the information. They're not going to give you everything and let you decide what's true and what's not. They're going to give you what they want you to hear, and they're going to censor everything else. They have to do that, because they have to mind control you. So, 1830s, a fire in Fayetteville, North Carolina destroyed hundreds of buildings and almost completely leveled the city. 1835, New York City. 1842, Great Fire of Hamburg, about a quarter of the inner city destroyed, 51 killed, and an estimated 20,000 homeless. I mean, we're talking once looked like this, then turned into this. Fires or destruction? Fires or destruction? 1846, Great Fire of 1846 in St. John's, Newfoundland, destroyed about 2,000 buildings and left 12,000 homeless. 1847, Great Fire of Bucharest, Romania, 15 were killed and 1,850 buildings were destroyed, roughly 1/3 of the city. How? 1848, fire in Medina, Ohio, destroyed the entire business district. 1848, a fire destroyed at least 500 buildings in Albany, New York. 1849, St. Louis fire of 1849. 3 were killed, including first U.S. firefighter ever killed in the line of duty. 1849, first Great Fire of Toronto of 1849. And speaking of the first U.S. firefighter ever killed in the line of duty, they put things like that so it becomes symbolic. Like, honor this man. He's the first firefighter to ever die in the line of duty. Because they want to make it real. That's how they make it real. Like even stories and narratives to go along with it. 1850s. Krakow fire of 1850, Poland affects 10% of the city area. 1851, San Francisco fire of 1851 destroyed 2,000 buildings. 2,000! 1852, I can't read down that far. Great Fire of Minnesota, Montreal is down there. Great Fire in 1852, Great Fire of Montreal. So many fires. 1854, the Great Fire of Newcastle and Gateshead, England, started by a spectacular explosion, killed 53 and leveled substantial properties in both towns. 1858, a large fire in Auckland, New Zealand, destroyed 3 hotels, 20 shops, more than 50 houses, the police station, theater, post office, and several other buildings at the center of town, an entire city block. At the time, Auckland had a population of 6,300. Okay. So there's 6,300 people there, but we need 3 hotels, 20 shops, and more than 50 houses. I guess you need more than 50 houses for 6,300 people. The police station, theater, post office, and several other buildings. But I'm just saying, 6,300 is not a lot of people. It's a small city. But, they have these huge fires and that taking out all these, I don't think you need 3 hotels, but maybe it's a tourist area, and not, my main thing is I like to remain teachable. I like to be a cup that's always ready to put more in. I'm never full. I want to always put more in. I'm never going to overflow and not allow my mind to be filled with knowledge and information. Okay? I am always a student, sometimes a teacher, and never an expert. 1858, a Christiana fire severely damaged the city. 1860s, Troy, New York, 761 buildings destroyed. 1862, Valparaiso, Chile, was almost completely destroyed by fires. 1863, San Francisco, fire of 1863, destroyed an entire block in the downtown area of San Francisco. 1864, the Great Fire of Queensland, maybe that's New Zealand? Australia, yeah, Queensland, Australia. The whole world set on fire in the 1800s. 1861 to 1865, the American Civil War involved several major fires. So now we're doing civil wars because that's another way to push fires and push destruction and just justify it. That's what they're doing today. Still, they have these wars and they're just going and destroying all these buildings. So they can say the war did it. Happened in the course of the war. So the American Civil War involved several major fires. 1861, Charleston, South Carolina. 1864, Atlanta, Georgia, burned after time given for evacuation of citizens by order of William Tecumseh Sherman. 1865, Columbia, South Carolina, burned while being occupied by troops commanded by William Tecumseh Sherman. 1865, Richmond, Virginia, burned by retreating Confederates. How convenient, Hey, let's burn it down. And now we can blame it on this. 1866, the Crystal Palace of Sydney, Australia, was destroyed by fire on the 20th of December. Called the Great Fire of the Crystal Palace, Fine Arts and Tropical Department was lost. A country of less than 100 years colonized, losing such historic magnificence like magic, the Sydney Mail reported. So less than 100 years being colonized, and it's burning down. And they have a Crystal Palace there. And how does a Crystal Palace burn down? I don't know. 1866, Maine, Maine destroyed 10,000 homes. I'm trying to read. 10,000 homeless. Left 10,000 homeless, I'm sorry. 1868, Arbach in die Oberpfalz, Bavaria. Arson destroyed 107 houses and 146 other